Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive into a world of, well, magic swords. We're going deep today, folks. Myths, legends, books, even video games. We're going to see what makes a sword more than just a hunk of metal.
It's fascinating, how the very idea of a magic sword kind of evolved alongside our relationship with swords, like in the real world.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
for centuries, just the process of making a sword, right? It seemed almost supernatural, like something beyond human ability.
Exactly. It's like all that skill, the generations of knowledge, the secrets, the glowing forges.
Yeah, the forges. It's like, to someone who didn't get it, that whole process, it would be pure magic, wouldn't it?
Right. And think about it. Some of those legendary swords, the ones we remember, they weren't necessarily magical themselves, They were famous because of the craftsmanship, who owned them, the battles.
So it's like a famous chef's knife. Amazing tool, but it's not doing the chopping on its own.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
then we have those swords that go beyond that, right? They
Yeah.
do have supernatural abilities. That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these legendary blades. We got to start with the big one, right? Excalibur. King Arthur, sword in the stone. I mean, everyone knows that story. But was Excalibur itself magical, or was it just, like, magically sourced?
See, that's the question. Some versions of the legend, they say it was forged on Avalon, right? That mystical island, giving it those inherent magical properties.
Okay, so the place it's made is magical.
Right. But then other versions say that, no, it was the Lady of the Lake who gave it to Arthur, and she was a powerful sorceress.
Oh, so the magic might be in the origin story, not the sword itself. That's a really cool way to think about it.
It is, and it reminds me of another magically sourced weapon, the Sword of Gryffindor from Harry Potter.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Made by goblins, but it absorbed that basilisk venom, right, became even deadlier. And it only presented itself to, well, true Gryffindors.
So it's choosing its wielder. That's a powerful idea.
Very much so. There's that element of worthiness, of destiny. You have to be the right person to wield it.
It's like the sword itself knows. That makes me think this idea of a chosen wielder, it's not just a Western thing.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, you've got the legendary sword Kusanagi, right? One of the emperor's treasures.
Oh, absolutely. Kusanagi is a fantastic example. It goes beyond just being a powerful weapon. It represents the emperor's right to rule. It's tied to the very foundation of their power.
So it's like the sword embodies the concept of leadership. We've got swords with magical origins, swords that choose their wielders.
Yeah.
But are there swords that are just like bad news, cursed, evil?
Oh, absolutely. There's turfing from Norse mythology, cursed to kill a man every time it was drawn.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not something you want hanging over your fireplace.
Yeah.
It makes you think, though, can a magic sword be inherently evil?
Mhm.
Can it control its wielder?
Now that's where we get into some really fascinating territory. The concept of sentient weapons, right? Swords with their own thoughts, their own desires.
Okay, now that's a little creepy.
It can get pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
One example that always gives me chills, it's Stormbringer from Michael Moorcock's Elric stories.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one. It's not just powerful, right?
It's malevolent, drains the souls of its victims to fuel its power.
Whoa. Okay, that's dark.
Yeah, Moorcock uses it to explore some heavy themes, Like,
Yeah,
even in defeating evil, can we be corrupted by the means?
that's deep. It's not just about the power, it's the cost of wielding it. Makes you think about the choices a hero has to make, right?
Exactly. But this brings up another question for me. Why swords? Of all the weapons we've come up with, why do swords get this magical treatment so often?
That's a great question. Why are swords so special? They're not the most practical weapon, are they?
Well, I think it's partly the symbolism, right? Swords have been tied to warriors, heroes, leaders for centuries.
Strength, courage, justice, they're already loaded with meaning, even before you add any magic.
Right. And unlike, say, a bow and arrow, which is all about distance, swords are very personal. Wielded up close, there's this bond between the sword and the user.
It's like an extension of themselves, almost. But we've been talking about all these legendary blades. I bet some folks are listening and thinking, could I wield a magic sword? Are they just for chosen heroes or what?
Well, a lot of stories have those requirements, right? Think of the sword in the stone. Only the rightful king could pull it out.
Right. Not just strength, it was a test.
Exactly. Or the Master Sword from
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda
Yeah.
requires a pure heart. It's like a trial, making sure the power doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
It's like those apprenticeship stories.
Hmm.
The hero has to prove themselves worthy before they learn the secrets, right?
Exactly. It's not just about being able to hold the sword. It's about being the right person to wield that kind of power.
That makes a lot of sense. But, okay, let's say you pass the test. You're worthy, you've got the skills. What kind of powers are we talking about? Flight, Invisibility.
Well, in the world of imagination, anything goes. Some magic swords, they just enhance your strength and speed, make you almost superhuman in battle.
Makes sense. Wouldn't want your magic sword to be slower than a regular one.
Right. Others might grant invulnerability or the ability to cut through any material.
Now we're talking. Imagine slicing through rush hour traffic with that.
And then you have swords that control the elements, summon creatures, even manipulate time and space.
Okay, things are getting epic now. So if you could design a magic sword, what would it do?
That's a good question. It's almost like your magic sword would be an extension of yourself, wouldn't it? It really would. What kind of powers would you choose for it?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. It's like, would I want a sword that could control minds? Kind of scary, right?
Yeah, a lot of responsibility there.
Or one that could heal people. That'd be awesome, but also huge pressure.
True. Or maybe, a sword that just makes really good coffee.
Okay, now that's a power I could get behind. But seriously, what about you? What kind of magical blade would you forge?
I think I'd want a sword that could cut through deception, like see right through lies and illusions.
Oh, that's a good one. Not so much a weapon for fighting, but for understanding.
Exactly. It'd be a tool for truth. What about yours?
I think I'd go for a sword that could help me understand different languages. So I could travel the world, talk to anyone.
That's beautiful. Learn about different cultures, share stories.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
It's interesting. Both our choices, they say a lot about what we value, don't they? Knowledge, connection, understanding.
And those are pretty powerful things when you think about it.
They really are. And that's what makes these magical swords so fascinating to explore. They're not just weapons, they're symbols. They represent our deepest desires, our fears, that eternal struggle between good and evil.
That's why they stick with us, right? Whether it's ancient myths, classic literature, or the latest video game.
It's true. They tap into something deep, that desire for something more, something extraordinary. Think about it. Why are we still so fascinated by these stories after all this time?
It's like a spark of hope. Maybe there's a little bit of that magic sword wielder in all of us, just waiting to be awakened.
Maybe there is. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of magic swords, we leave you with this thought. What kind of blade would you forge? What powers would it hold? And what would that say about the hero within you? Keep exploring, keep imagining. Who knows what you might discover out there?